Welcome into the Ringerverse. This is, of course, the Ringers Nexus podcast feed for all things fandom. We are Steve, the architect, Ahlman, the builder and tinkerer of things. Jomi, the algorithm, Adeniran. You've got questions. He's got ways to trick your mind.
All right.
Old Man Van, he of the receding resurgent hairline, Coke, Baby Chuck, the 24-karat closer. Together we are known as the Midnight Boys. I wonder if I did it to the wrong camera. Is it this camera or this camera?
I mean, I would think it's to the wide. It's the wide.
One. This camera?
Yeah.
No, okay.
The middle.
Fair. We'll be right back after this. All right, follow us on socials at the Midnight Boys Pod on Insta and TikTok, at Ringerverse on Insta, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. Jomi.
Guys, we got to do another, say the same thing at the same time video, right? We need to do it. We can't do 10 because the video was too long. We got to keep it to like 5.
I'm never doing that video again.
What do you mean? People want to see it again?
Never again.
Why are you like this?
You can't take it seriously, Jomi.
I can, guys.
You sold the first
Jomi
time
did
for
sell.
content.
I didn't sell it for content. Don't do
Fuck
that.
it.
Don't do that. I'm not on that Pete Rose stuff. Don't do me like that. Okay, it was one time, but we're family, man. We gonna get it on the first try one time.
What else are you gonna look to clip farm from us?
I got some ideas for House of the Dragon.
Okay.
Percolating.
We should do Star Wars, but you can't do Vader.
See, look, this is
For Mando, but you can't do Vader.
He's cooking.
There
Look
you
at
go.
my guy. He's cooking. We can't. No Vader.
No Vader.
I like
Because
Vader.
that'd be easy. This is the first person.
I
who's
like
the second
that.
person.
See, now we're there. I like this guy. He's locked in.
Yeah. It's an interesting interesting environment that we have here on the show
Mm-hmm.
to where, Charles and I are here. Everybody has different jobs throughout the company. So you guys, sometimes Steve bosses me around.
When do I boss you around?
Sometimes we boss me around. Aleya boss me around. Jomi boss me around. I get bossed around a lot by you guys. I'm not doing your video.
Okay.
I'm not doing your video
Okay.
unless you do something for me.
Uh-huh.
So if you want in the future,
Right.
I'm putting my foot down.
Quid pro quo.
In the future, you got to bring, because you cook for people.
Right.
This is what you do when you want other people to do stuff. When you want to go over and hang
Okay.
out, you cook for people. You bring them cookies. You
Mm.
bring them, I would like some cookies or some stuff like that. I want something
Right.
to have to do extra work.
You know what
Right.
I've realized in the Jomi has changed? Maybe you haven't changed. Maybe you've always been this way. Because usually with your cooking stories, there's a shawty there.
Yeah.
But it's like when it's your homies, your day ones, the people that you built,
Right.
you break right. Like,
Well, to
And
be
you know how
fair,
you
those
know
are
that-
his thirst traps.
You
Those
know how
are
you
his
know
thirst
that
traps.
Jomi is one of those types. I know how the company would be if Jomi was leading the company. Because Jomi is one of those people that ask you to do something and then act like it's for you.
yeah.
Yeah.
So when I was
You're
at
crazy to not do
So
this.
when I was at TMZ, this was the funniest thing that they used to do at TMZ. So they would make you feel good about denying your vacation.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So they would be like, somebody would go up to them and be like, hey, man, I want to go on vacation. I want to fucking take my family to Costa Rica or something like that. And they'd be like, hey, you can't go. Okay, vacation denied. And then Charles would be like, but it's actually a good thing. Because think about that. That means that we can't have you off of the show. We need you to be here on the show. Like, you're so integral to the show. We can't spare a week from you. And people would be coming to me. They would be sitting down. They would talk. They'd be like, yeah, actually, it's fucking, they say I can't go. But actually, kind of on the bright side, that just kind of means that they need me around here to be on TV.
Right.
I'd be like, are you fucking nuts? Are you stupid?
That's some real
Worked
jujitsu
again.
right
And that's how
there.
you
They
do
just
it.
So
did.
that's not how it is. First and
Ooh.
foremost, I cook for myself. Don't do me like that. Number 2, more importantly, vertical video is the future. I don't know if y'all been on Netflix recently, but they got their own little vertical video tab.
No,
Everybody
actually,
is in
We
there.
haven't been on Netflix.
All right, before we get to programming reminders, we have to bring it up. Van,
Mhm.
comedian extraordinaire.
Mm.
Netflix is a joke.
Mhm.
Up there with luminaries such as Macy Gray,
Eric Benet.
Eric
Benet.
Benet. How did it feel?
Rodriguez.
I heard we were hearing rumblings that you were a little nervous backstage. Were there nerves?
I wasn't nervous. I was terrified. When I tell you guys, I went through, first of all, the entire week. So I used to be really afraid to fly. Super afraid to fly, to the point to where 3 weeks before a flight, like 2 weeks before flight. I'm counting down the days until the flight. It's amazing how I've gotten over it. There was the same thing. I was walking every single morning, working out the routine. I was asking questions, doing all of this stuff. And the entire time that I'm going there, I am just like, I almost had a panic attack because a couple of comedian friends of mine told me write out the routine.
Yeah.
So I almost had a panic attack writing out the routine. I was
Because then you're visualizing yourself on stage.
It became real.
Yeah.
I was at Mateo till about 7:30 on Friday night. Just walking around. People were like, what the fuck are you doing? At Mateo, because I had to be by myself.
Right.
Then when I got there, everybody up there was fine. I saw that Eric Benet was really nervous. Shout out to Eric, shout out to Terry, shout out to everybody that was on that night. Then I had a couple of drinks and that killed the nerves. And Francesca came over and she goes, hey, don't have this third drink because you don't want to go up there drunk.
Yeah.
And then that put into my mind again that you could go up there and make a fool of yourself.
Yeah.
And
Mind you, at the Laugh Factory,
But here's
people
the
have
thing,
made
Macy
fools of
Gray,
themselves.
because I was like, oh, Macy Gray. I was like, wait, where's Van? I was so afraid you were closing the show. I'm like, damn, they must really be like,
Yeah, they really
what
wanted-
happened was I couldn't get the set down. The set was supposed to be 3 minutes.
oh.
So I couldn't get, two things. One, too many people were telling me not to go up there and try to tell jokes. Because I could have written jokes that were a lot like the first joke that I came off with.
Yeah.
Like I could have written those, but a lot of people were saying don't do that because your timing and all that stuff, that's a muscle that you have to develop. So get up there and like tell a story and like put jokes in the story. So I did that, but I couldn't get it down to 3 minutes. And so Ida was like, okay, we're just gonna throw you up towards the end. And so then like that's so I could go a little bit longer because.
But
it was
it's
just gonna
funnier,
cut
you
to
were
her
the
set.
most of the doc comedians, you were the most relaxed. I was just like, there were a lot of people who got up there. I won't say who, but he's just like, yeah, I forgot that I had this today. And then he immediately went like, I saw the Michael Jackson movie. They had Joe fucked up. I was like, okay. I was like,
That was a whole
You
lot.
was dying at that. Not like, and like, it was funny. He was like, this is not a serious.
It is not,
serious.
no.
nah, once, once again, the gentleman will not be named, but once he started being the fake president, having a phone call with Netanyahu, I was like,
y'all chill, bro.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Y'all chill. Hey, do y'all want to hear? I'll do this. We might have to deep shadow this. Do y'all want to hear? Can Aleya hear me back there? I want to hear from Aleya.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Do you guys want to hear the Charlie Kirk joke that I took out of my set?
Oh my
absolutely.
God.
Absolutely.
All right.
Lock in, Aleya.
So
Hello, Ringiverse fans. I regret to inform you that due to the initiation of Deep Shadow Protocol, this bit had to be edited out of the pod. I know, I'm just as disappointed as you are. Thanks as always for listening, and the Midnight Boys, pew pew, we'll get back to you shortly.
See, here's the thing.
No,
hold on.
You should have said that joke.
You should have.
You should have.
This is why. So we're out of Deep Shadow Protocol right now. You should have said that joke because it would have bombed, and then the silence would have made.
No, it would have gone over wonderfully.
In that crowd, no way.
I want Aleya. What do you think?
Don't deep shadow. Don't deep shadow. Don't deep shadow.
I would have laughed.
See, yeah, we would have laughed.
So now we have to deep shadow.
Why?
Because I haven't used it yet.
Oh, right. Can't give away the story.
Yeah,
Can't give away the sauce.
I haven't used it yet. So like,
That's a great joke.
No, actually,
he
I'm
will be
on the
back. He will
Midnight Mob
return to the
side now.
stage.
We deep shadowing too much. You're
right.
we
You're right.
deep shadowing.
You're right. I just wanted to, because like some of these jokes that were skewing whatever, I would run it by Kalika. I remember I ran that one by Kalika and she went.
No,
That would have killed.
And between that one and the abortion one, she was like, keep that one because
Keep that one.
that shows
That's a
people
good
what
one.
kind of
That's
time you're on.
Yeah.
But she was like,
the abortion one actually
No,
it warmed people up real quick.
yeah, she was like, yeah, should keep that one because it lets people know what kind of time you're on. But she was like, maybe get a little deeper into your shit before you.
God
bring
bless
that out.
Kalika for
See,
workshopping that.
But to
Hilarious.
me, but yeah,
Hilarious.
But yeah, so that's where I was. Okay. Well, I'm going again.
Wait, for real?
July 17th.
Oh wow!
Nice.
Wait, is
Is this another like pass around like celebrity like 3 minutes and stuff like that?
Ada said that she's like, there's something July 17th. She's at the Ford Theater.
Ooh, at the
I'm going again. Going again.
comedian Van?
Yeah, comedian event. I'll probably do the same set there, but eventually the Kanye set with that joke in there.
Okay.
will
I
be
will.
a part of it.
What is the timeline on getting Charlie Kirk jokes off before we're just like,
I feel like we're already past it. I feel like some people are already
No, because
letting
they
those
got
out.
mad. They were doing this like prom transition with the audio of him
That,
being
yeah.
shot, and they got really mad about
They
that.
got him on like AI like LeBron mixtapes.
I mean, like the memes and stuff. I think you can't like there's the genie's out the bottle on that.
Look,
But
I'm sorry. Apologies to everyone. They got their George Floyd jokes off.
Agreed.
They went crazy.
Agreed.
It's
Trayvon.
up.
Yeah.
Like the whole deal, it's happening. You'll hear it. Not yet, but you will hear that joke. As long as if you guys get the joke and the joke is funny.
We
I don't
get
give a
it,
fuck
yeah.
how people. Yeah, okay, cool. So fuck that shit. All right. Program reminders!
Oh, God.
On Thursday, Blood Mash reacts to Mortal Kombat 2. Next week, House of R and the Midnight Boys react to Punisher One Last Kill. Really interested in this.
Yeah.
I'm excited. This is the most I've been excited for like an MCU joint in a
Oh,
minute.
say more.
Just from the trailer, Punisher's not even my favorite character. I could take him or leave him, but I was just like, dog, just give me the gritty Netflix, like at home 90-minute fucking banger. Honestly, we just saw Mortal Kombat. We might talk about it at some point. I would like more movies that I could watch at home that are like 90 minutes and don't take themselves too seriously. It's the going to the
It's good to
theater
know
that I'm a
when-
little bit like, damn, y'all just wasted my time.
When Marvel understands the assignment, that's what really gets me excited. And when I can tell that they understand the assignment in a trailer like that, that's when.
Also, really quick, did y'all hear my man, the creator of Beef? I'm forgetting his name, was on The Watch talking about the X-Men.
Oh,
Right.
Daniel David. No, that's not.
No.
That's Spider-Man.
That's Spider-Man.
The
other
writer
guy.
of the showrunner
Oh,
of
that
Beef.
who's now doing the X-Men. Yeah, what did he say?
Yeah, he was talking about just the process of them, because I think there's 3 writers of just being at Marvel at the compound, every single X-Men on the wall, kind of debating who's gonna be it. And he was
As
saying,
in like the main character, the main focus of
like the
movie?
main focus of it. And he was a big fan of the animated 90s series, which means I think they're going in that direction. But what I want to ask you, is it almost confirmed now that they're going back to the original 5?
I don't know if it's
seems like
confirmed,
it.
but that's like seems like
Yeah.
all the
No
seems like it
Wolverine, no Storm. It's Cyclops,
Angel,
Jean,
yeah.
Iceman, Beast, Angel.
Yeah.
Seems like that's what
That
they're
to
doing.
me is a huge risk, even though story-wise, it's what I want.
I don't think it's that much of a risk.
You don't think so?
No, because we've seen like all like for the
don't-
most part.
Yeah, I don't think it's that much of a risk because to me, number one, if anything these superhero movies have told us, if you get the story right, the characters that you put on screen don't really matter as much.
I mean, true, and it was they did it with Thunderbolts, with characters that no one gave a fuck about.
yeah.
Versus Cyclops, Jean, we do have, and I mean, hey, Sadie Sink, you know,
Also, we've
The
seen
floor is yours.
iterations of these characters of like this world with like Wolverine being the main character for the most part, right? So it's nice that we like. Then this is what Marvel loves to do: take it back to the old school, take it back to the OG. You gonna get the first edition of these characters.
I think they scared a little bit though. I think they scared of recasting Wolverine.
Well, they honestly and obviously don't have Wolverine yet. But even more to the point, if you don't have the crutch of Wolverine or the crutch of whatever other character that has captivated people for such a long time, maybe you'll put that into the creative. Maybe you'll tell the story of the foundation of the X-Men, the world that they live in, their relationship to that world, their relationship to one another, their relationship to Xavier, all of the other things that are fracturing mutant kind from humankind. Maybe that'll be the thing that you'll lean into and not so much fan service with characters that we've seen in X-Men movies for the last 15 or 20 years.
Because his name is Lee Sung Jin, the showrunner of Beef. He also said what I thought was interesting is that Feige and Joanna Kahlo, who works on The Bear, and them, they've been talking about what they want to focus on for this. And he was talking about how, like, shout out our man Kimberg, rightfully so, a lot of those movies leaned on the race allegories, the queer allegories, being prejudiced, fighting against the world. And he was saying that a lot of the energy for this new film is them going back to that early Stan Lee. They're in high school. They're hormonal teens. This is a friendship. This is a family. And I was like, okay, that's like actually like an interesting way, because that's the one thing I felt like the Fox films didn't do as well, where it didn't feel like when you're reading an X-Men comic, you're just like, oh, this is college and they're never leaving. Like, this is the house they lived, this is the dorm they lived. You're living with your best friends. You're fighting. It's a soap opera. That's the way I feel like you have to do it.
Unpopular statement from me. The X-Men were always existed to me, for everybody else as well, as, they're mutants and they're outcasts from society and stuff like that. That was always there. But for a lot of the X-Men stuff that I read, that was never super paramount.
No.
That was never, it was never like, their relationships to one another were always much more important than their relationship to the world. And, they would fight people who were directly based in like mutant terrorism, Magneto, mutant terrorists, people like that. But then there were other existential threats that the X-Men fought that were just people who wanted to do bad shit, and the X-Men were the only one who could stop them, right? People who wanted to dominate the world, the X-Men were the only one who could stop them. So it wasn't always a social fight that the X-Men were fighting. I have no problem with that. That's actually awesome. That's what makes them special. Don't get me wrong, because they only have one another and they have all of these fantastic powers. But I think a version of the team that's actually more centered on them as heroes, I think I'm into that right now.
Yeah.
I was everything from the chat. Go watch the interview on the watch. It made me even more excited for the X-Men film, because it also did seem, I'm like, oh, I think you guys are not only going back to basics. I do think that they need to make a smaller film.
Yeah.
Where I do think it's more important, instead of trying to make an Avengers film right away, I would rather have something that is like closer, ironically, to Thunderbolts, but like something that's a little bit more.
So then who will be the villain of your small X-Men movie?
Oh, it has to be Mr. Sinister, I feel like.
Mr. Sinister, you start
Sinister
with.
seems great.
Like,
You start, because Magneto, to me, Magneto and Wolverine are the hard, and honestly, Professor X are the three hardest characters. I think get each of them right in multiple films.
Magneto will be somewhere in this movie.
Think so.
Yeah.
Really?
Somewhere in this movie. Yeah, I think he's too, to me, I think Magneto is he's too important, he's too foundational to the X-Men, particularly to
But
the
we've
start of the
seen
X-Men.
Magneto for years. I think
We've
that
seen
they're,
Professor X for years. I mean, there's certain people that have to be involved in the shit.
but to me, I'm just like, I feel like they want this to feel so new. And it's like immediately recasting Magneto is just like,
Well, you
They
got to
have
Xavier.
but Xavier.
yeah, so you got to
right.
get Professor X and the X-Men right, put a new villain in there. And, second, it's like, it's sometimes in the Batman movies, they not always giving you Joker right away.
Well, I think
Right.
the
Post-credits.
Joker, in every Batman movie, by the way, like in every Batman movie, they go, even if they don't give you the Joker, they go, hold on,
He's somewhere.
the Joker's here.
Right.
Like, and they can't.
Even Batman Begins with the card, the
Card,
card at the
They
end.
let you guys know, hey, you're not gonna go from this to fucking Clayface. You sat
Coming
through
this
this
October.
villain that a lot of you guys don't know who the fuck this is.
Yeah.
And just let you know, when we go big, we're going to the Joker, because that's the essence of it.
I'll look into it.
But I'll say this, I'll look into it. Yeah, the
Fucking
guy comes
awesome
along,
line.
He took your fucking movie over. That's what happened. You look into that. Look into the fact that he came over,
I'm not
Outshined
and
you.
took your, and took your movie over there. Made you Robin. Now, I will say, I still think, and I'm interested in what y'all think, that even the Batman Joker relationship isn't quite as fundamental to Batman's world as the Xavier Magneto relationship is. It's almost as if, it's almost as if Xavier cannot exist without Magneto.
And that's why I think that I like why Charles is excited, because even if Xavier's there, if he's put on the back burner, it becomes about the class. It becomes about that family of heroes rather than the gigantic existential two brothers on the opposite ends of the law philosophy of Magneto versus Xavier on a battle of principles and the ways to see the world. If they're just kids that are figuring out life and like solving the problems of the world, I think that that's a good place to start. And then getting us into the entire like existential, what does it mean to be a mutant in a human world, etc.
I think the math just goes back to like, I think they're 4 for 4 in casting Magneto and Professor X with James McAvoy and Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen and Michael Fassbender, right? And so if we're going back to basics, you wouldn't give them that right off the bat. You'd probably hold Magneto for a second, but to your point, the films have like legitimately been like based around those two characters and their friendship and the dissolving of the friendship and them like going butting heads. I think you can't like I would save that for the second joint, but I would put Magneto in the first.
Because also the big question I have is like, and I'm gonna be interested in how the MCU figures this out. You can't have Magneto as a character to me without his connection to World War II.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if this movie is going to be set in the present time, I'm like,
most of those people have been aged out.
so like you're gonna have to figure out like how is Magneto in this world? Because if they want to cast a young-ish Professor X in his like what 40s, 50s,
X Gene just makes him.
All right, so that Magneto problem is gonna have to be figured out because when in the 90s we had this resurgence of conversation around what was called the Greatest Generation with World War II. You had Saving Private Ryan, you had Band of Brothers, you had the construction of the World War II Museum in New Orleans, which might have come a little bit before then. I can't remember when that actually happened. When did that happen? But what I'm saying is that like that was almost in a way like sending that generation off.
Yeah.
Like, so they could see how much we appreciated them, how much we appreciated how they fought in World War II and all of that stuff. At that point, we were 50 years removed from the war, from the end of the war. You guys, at a certain point, when you put a historical fucking landmark in comic book lore, you move further away from that landmark. You have to change. Like,
so you think they're going to do that?
At some point, if it's not now, at some point they will.
Yeah.
Well, like at some point,
because it keeps that character in the past.
It keeps that character. Either you have to put him in suspended animation, or you have to start the shit in the 80s, or at a certain point, just from a timeline perspective, you're gonna get to a spot where you can't do it anymore.
You gotta think about like Cap got frozen in World War II, and like it was like 30, 40 years in the 80s and 90s. Now it's almost like got like
70,
80
years?
years, right? Like that's I think, and even in the comics, it's always like a sliding scale. Like Iron Man, at first it was Vietnam, and then it becomes Afghanistan. Like those kind of things.
Because you can't fucking put him in Vietnam, right? You know what I mean? Like so,
but it's I mean, for his point though, like,
but Magneto is a character. It's like our understanding from him, and then I agree with you on a fundamental level. But our understanding of that character is so tied to World War II, him being Jewish, the concentration camps, how that molded just his worldview. It's not as easy to me as like putting Tony Stark in Afghanistan.
You know, because it makes it this weird, like, okay, what's the modern day equivalent of all of this, and how do you find a way to justify that level of?
Well, guys, guess what? In comics, you can do that because there's no. Here's the reality: you just can't do it unless you're gonna have him be fucking 97 years old,
right?
Right? And you can't do it. He could have been a very young boy,
right?
At the
and
point,
still,
like if he was born in like 1937 or 19, you're getting fucking old at this point.
And he has to be a contemporary.
And he has to be a contemporary of Xavier and all of this. These things have to say that there's either, if they do something with the multiverse, they change up what Magneto's trauma was. They make it something else. Obviously, like anti-Semitism and anti-Jewish rhetoric did not end or begin with World War II or the Holocaust. So his feeling of being persecuted in a world that has historically persecuted these people, there are other things that but as far as that tie to his, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Like in perpetuity forever with the time constraint, unless the magnetism makes him young for a long time. Then you got an Xavier problem. Like, you know what I mean? I will say, last thing I'll say about this though, before we move on, because this was a nice little tangent. The interesting thing is that this was done so well in First Class. The Magneto Xavier relationship, to where we see over the course of time Magneto becoming sort of more militant, and him being sort of an extreme version of himself, becoming more extreme and all of that stuff, being radicalized. You can't really do that again. And when we get to Xavier, a lot of this will have to do with him. Is Xavier in a wheelchair when we meet him? Is Xavier in his 40s and his 30s when we meet him, in his 50s when we meet him? Like, how fully formed is he? If he's more fully formed, maybe you don't have Magneto in the movie, right? Maybe that happened. He's looking back on Magneto. You don't need it, right? But if we're going to go through kind of a deal to where we're learning about Professor Xavier, or this character is like essential to the building.
But I
of who
will
he
also
is.
say, my last thing on this is like, I think even Professor X, after Patrick Stewart, that because he has such a gravitas in culture, he's been in nerd culture especially, he's just like this grandfather figure. To me, the Fox version of Professor X was always perfect. Not like always perfect, but was a level of just like, this is the grandfather you love. Where the Professor X from the comics is way more
Real son of a
morally
bitch.
gray. Yeah, he's damn near a villain half the time. And I'm just like, is it more interesting if you wait on Magneto because it gives Professor X a chance to be more of like an anti-hero and more complicated than he ever was in the Fox films?
Right.
I'll say that,
Last thing. He'll say.
last thing. This is what I'll say because popped in my mind. Every single version of this stuff that has ever gotten it right, to me, is able to kind of the original Superman classic. They start you with Lex Luthor, foundational to his world. The original Batman, Tim Burton, the Joker is there. When they miss, it's a lot of times because they miss with the other characters. Now, Batman Begins did not do it. That is very fair. But when you look at the Man of Steel, Zod is a fantastic villain, a villain that makes sense for that world, like way more sense than Luthor did for the world that they did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They bring Luthor in the second one, and they fucking miss. And the world didn't make any sense because the Lex Luthor of that world kinda is all over the place. Interesting. Don't get me wrong, he's interesting. He was.
You didn't like the jar of piss?
I thought some of that stuff was interesting.
Right.
But with this Superman, they go, you know what? There's aspects of Superman that are like super duper malleable. You can move them around, whatever, or you can fuck with them. But the one thing that's kind of not is that Superman's enemy is Lex Luthor. And Lex Luthor is the avatar for the humanity that has rejected Superman.
Yeah.
And if you're going to be able to contextualize that character, Lex Luthor is important to do that. Maybe they don't have to do that with Magneto and Professor Xavier. Maybe they don't. They might not.
Can't believe we
like
have
Sinister will be interesting.
Sinister
would be
I know
fun.
he's
That
not
would
a
be fun.
famous villain in terms of like movies and shit, but like it's the one villain that they haven't done where I'm like, you could get some shit off with Sinister.
Maybe like Sinister, because there's a whole thing, Sinister wanting to fucking experiment on them and kidnap
experimenting
them
on
and
Cyclops.
Cyclops.
Yeah.
Sinister, well, this would be a Sinister apocalypse thing, but Angel into like Archangel, maybe that could be a deal. That's kind of a thing that like that would cook.
Can't believe we're having an X-Men convo without Kern, man.
You just brought the whole shit down.
All right.
Wow, that's a bummer.
All right, let's get
shout
into
out
the
to my
fucking
nigga, bro.
Daredevil.
Shout out,
God, man.
we're getting our reactions. Daredevil, the season finale of Daredevil. Shout out to my nigga, bro.
Shut up, my
We
God.
once again bring you the Midnight Manifest, putting you. Oh no! First of all, I got to do a spoiler warning, Steve. We're getting ready to talk about
Daredevil Born Again.
You're listening to a reaction podcast. The spoilers are coming. All right, Midnight Manifest, put you in the know. Chuck Wagon, take it away.
All right, there's your Midnight Manifest for the season finale of Daredevil Born Again, Season 2, The Southern Cross, directed by Ian B. McDonald, written by Dario Scartapane and Jesse Wigato. Matt decides to call Wilson Fisk to the stand after being backed into a corner after the arrest and trial of Karen Page. The blind lawyer takes a big swing to finally take the mayor down by revealing to the world that he is Daredevil. Matt's reveal is the last puzzle piece needed to dismantle the Kingpin's rule and disband the anti-vigilante task force. The city revolts, with many Daredevil supporters rushing the courthouse to exact revenge on Fisk. In a fit of rage, the mayor goes on a killing spree, but is stopped by Matt, who tells him their war has to end to save New York City. And at episode's end, Matt is in prison. Fisk is on a beach alone, grieving the loss of Vanessa in New York. Bullseye joins Mr. Charles while Heather dons Muse's mask, and Luke Cage is reunited with his daughter and Jessica as the latter reopens Alias investigations. And that has been your Midnight Manifest for Daredevil Born Again. Start with you, Van. Before we even give our instant reactions, big picture thoughts maybe on this finale in this season, because when I was watching it, it did finally feel like the last piece of the puzzle where I'm like, oh, you guys almost had to have an entire season to get back to the thing that we loved. It felt the closest to me of like some of the complaints that we've been talking about of just like, we want the depth of the Netflix show. We want all the characters back. And it seemed like finally with this finale, they put all of their like players in a row where I was like, it felt good. I was like, okay, like my friend, I know all these people. The world is bigger. Jessica, Luke is back. I was like, oh, okay. Like, I feel safe.
This is probably the most comic accurate episode of the show that's ever been aired. And that's both a real strength of this episode, and it also could be looked at as a detriment of the episode as well.
Yep.
You guys know that in the comic book, panels of comic book page, a lot of stuff is happening. You know, this episode gives you Matt Murdock and Daredevil. It gives you, but like when I say Matt Murdock and Daredevil, I mean like Matt Murdock as a hero and Daredevil as a hero.
Yeah,
gives you vulnerable Daredevil. You get contributions from Jessica Jones, then Luke Cage shows up. The supporting characters, all of them get their time to shine in this. They do not leave you thinking, why was this character in the season?
Yeah.
It seemed like the finale was, the point of the finale was them saying, hey, you know what? Everybody's place in this, it had to happen. BB's arc is realized. Now, it doesn't matter. Look, you guys might not like the way it happened, but it was. BB's arc was realized. Karen's arc was realized. Daredevil's arc was realized. Kingpin's arc was realized in a really interesting and almost didn't work for me way.
Yeah.
But Daredevil's arc was realized. The entire task force.
Heather.
Yeah.
Heather.
Heather.
Everybody's arc was realized. And then something that a good finale actually does, and this was a good, I don't think great, but good finale to me. Something that a good finale does is when the arcs are realized for a lot of these characters inside of the show, you don't really, it's the first time you understand how far you've come with them.
Yeah.
Like Heather has been going incrementally further, but by the time this happens to her, it kind of makes sense.
Yes.
But I hated the choice.
I know.
No, I loathed the choice.
I actually like the choice a lot.
I didn't mind it. It was kind of like a, I knew that some people would hate it, but by the time we got to it, they had done the work to show how she could get to that point.
Yeah. It was definitely an earned moment. I actually think that like the choices that they made with Heather's character, while risky, I think were actually fairly well earned and very interesting to know that her psychosis after what her encounters with muses are and her dipping into the Kingpin's orbit has brought her out to this. I think that makes for a very interesting story for what comes in a season 3 of Daredevil.
I just thought like, so when you think about like what they originally wanted the show to be, which was like a courtroom drama where Matt not even in the Daredevil suit, he's out there doing case of the week type stuff, right? And we flash forward all the way to this where crux of the show or the episode is Matt breaking down a case, breaking down Kingpin, breaking down Heather on the stand, and then we get the Daredevil action.
Yeah,
this is what
got everything.
This is everything we wanted the show to be in terms of seeing Matt do his thing and seeing Daredevil do his thing. I think to your point, like at the end, it all came together in a way that like we always like thinking back to Daredevil Born Again season 1 that we always wanted to see this world come to. I thought like as finale, probably not like great, amazing,
good,
but I thought it was really good.
I feel better about the future of the show after this finale than I did after season 1.
Oh, for sure.
You know,
so in the show throughout the season, I realized that everybody had their mirror, and you got all of these moments. They took the framework of Daredevil and Fisk, and they used it on a bunch of different characters. They used and that like Vanessa's scene with Karen.
Yeah.
They are mirrors of one another. Buck and Daniel are mirrors of one another. Obviously, Daredevil and Fisk are mirrors of one another. But then there are other ones like Vanessa and the idea of the masks, the task force and the people. All of these things that are like jamming right up against one another, and then like who is going to win? And the ambiguous characters, they killed them.
Yeah.
Like they killed Vanessa, right? They killed Daniel. All the ones that were kind of in the ether in between. Because even though Vanessa had fully bought into the fist stuff, there still was a vulnerability about that character and the fact that she was the thing that he loved that made her not right for a world that was as binary as this world needed to be towards the end. So they got rid of her. They got rid of Daniel. They got rid of all the other characters that were someplace in the middle of the war. And then at the end, not only did the show choose, but it made the audience kind of choose.
Mhm.
And that was a reason why, to me, it ended up working in the end.
Did you guys want more of like a Jessica Jones, where to me in this episode, I was like, I'm so excited to see her. Did just like having Kristen Ritter in the show is the same thing as having Bullseye in the show. It just, these characters, you love these characters, and it immediately just bumps it up to be more interesting. But I still felt like she didn't get to do anything. Luke didn't get to do anything. It's almost like Kristen Ritter would show up, be like, hey, here to support you, Matt. And that was it. And they kind of kept talking it away, being like, well, you kind of don't have your powers anymore, but you kind of do. And I'm just like, it felt like they didn't necessarily have a handle on what they wanted Jessica Jones to do this season.
And that's kind of the mortal sin of like the Marvel table setting of like, okay, well, clearly season 1 didn't work out as well as we did. What can we do to ensure that people really want to lock in for this, even if we don't think that the story is going to execute as well as we do? Putting in Jessica Jones, pretty good to get your attention as well. But like, again, doesn't have that much utility in a season like
What did
this.
she do? Like, what did she
Especially-
accomplish this season?
Yeah, like
plot wise.
not much. Like,
they destroyed all the weapons that they had in the
yeah,
cache.
but how was she tied to that? Really,
I don't
Like,
really
what-
know. I gotta be honest with you.
Even
I
what
think
Luke, even like, I'm like,
Well,
they
I
were just
mean-
like, yeah, Luke is working with Mr. Charles overseas. And I'm like, doing what though?
Why?
Yeah,
Why?
like,
and,
what?
and I'm sure that can be addressed in season 3,
I'm
but
sure they-
obviously that was too big for this season in general.
I know they mentioned it, but yeah, I don't think she was deployed all that well. I think there were spots, I think, like that episode where she showed up and they do destroy the factory. Like that makes a lot of sense. But then, like, to your point, they keep making excuses for her to come back, and it's kind of flimsy, and it's kind of like, what's the entire reason? I think if you put a character like that in the show, because they even waited till late. It was like episode 6?
6 when she showed up.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a character that comes in like halfway at the end of episode 4 and is like he's about to die comes in like kind of Deus Ex Machina and then stays. It's just like there for the rest of the season.
It would have made more sense if she was just like a cameo for a episode to help him out and be like, hey, I'm around.
Or
See you
they're
later.
like legitimately like for the rest of the season, not
Right.
just like, all right, I come episode 6, I'm like peace, and episode 7, and then I'm back for episode 8 because the power of friendship. It's a little weird, but like you said, it was great to see her.
Yeah, I didn't mind it as much just because I always wanted there to be, I think for me, just personally, I always wanted there to be this version of the MCU that they were able to figure out in the movies, but never quite in the television shows. In the movies, you're around there and the guys pop in. It's in New York, like, just fucking Iron Man's there.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's trying to figure it out.
Would love to know what Spider-Man was doing when City Hall was getting stormed.
He's very sad.
Yeah, man.
very sad.
So he's
Jumping
very
off
sad.
buildings.
He's very sad. But in this one, she pops in. You get a little bit. You get a catch up with her. This is a catch up.
Mhm.
Then she pops out. They always are going to nerf her. She's already nerfed. She can't fly. There's a whole bunch of things. This is a TV Jessica Jones. So everything that you guys are saying is correct. It just didn't stick out like a sore thumb to me
Sure.
because just having her there to me was enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is where we end in the finale is where a lot of my Daredevil fandom started. In the Brian Michael Bendis, Ed Brubaker era, it's obvious that in the 3rd season they're going, I think the arc that Brubaker did was called like Devil in a Cell, where like Matt gets arrested and there's this big New York trial. And I won't spoil any of that. But what I thought was interesting is Brian Michael Bendis and Ed Brubaker at that time in Marvel Comics in the 2000s are getting inspired by The Sopranos, Oz, The Wire. So you see comic books, they call it in like comic book history, like decompressed storytelling. It becomes more like a TV show. And I think what was interesting about this episode was I was feeling like the limitations of that, where I'm like, oh, this is becoming a more serious show that is looking at like the legal apparatus of New York and all of these things, but it still can't shake off the hokiness and the almost brighter nature of Born Again season 1, where it was like even some of the fighting in the courthouse and how Wilson Fisk just starts killing protesters, that part did get a little comic booky, where I'm just like, I don't know if you guys set the table enough for this to be as monumental and serious as it needs to be.
Well, the shows have different edicts. The Netflix show and the Disney show, they have different edicts. The Netflix show existed on Netflix at a time where the shows that were coming on Netflix, Orange is the New Black, House of Cards, and all of that stuff. That show was basically saying to the audience, or it had to say, hey, if this show can't be dark enough and serious enough in tone, then it can't exist in the Netflix situation. It can't exist there. It has to be dark enough and serious in tone for people to, with all of the other stuff that's on Netflix, to watch this and be like, this is grounded enough for it to make sense to us. And so that show was very grounded.
Yeah.
There was no Daredevil, just brilliant story choices all over. There was no Daredevil to the very end. And by the time you saw him, the first time you saw Daredevil, it was kind of like, oh. Like that show actually changed when he stopped being the devil of Hell's Kitchen and became Daredevil, because it almost was like in that world, him flying around with his shit, it almost didn't work. That fight between him and Kingpin at the end of it, it almost was like, oh, does this work in the world that we've set up? It felt a little too comic booky. This show has the exact opposite thing to do. It has to be slightly light enough, slightly cheery enough, slightly comic booky enough to exist in the Disney Plus MCU world that it is a part of now. They are like diametrically opposed in the thing that they have to do. One of them had to be in this world that was super whatever. It had to be grounded enough. It had to be dark enough. It had to be bleak enough. It had to be serious enough. This one is all of those things that the first show was, but it has to have that touch of comic bookiness to it, that touch of lightness to it, that touch of MCU-ness to it that doesn't feel like it's existing in another world. They cannot endure this show because that doesn't work in the MCU. And so that, to me, tonally, was always what they were trying to figure out, particularly in this second season. And I really, truly believe that the last 3-4 episodes here are the best you can do with it.
Yeah.
Like you can get tighter and stuff, and I think that they will, but they've kind of gotten to the point to where this is what the show will be.
Yeah, and it feels on track, I think, is the most important thing. Like, everything feels where it should be as far as the tone of the show, the pacing of the show, especially like the interdynamics between each of these characters. I liked where at least the players that are left on the board have ended up, and the things that are left over for a season 3 to begin. I think that that's pretty much exactly where I would like to see these things. And boy, oh boy, isn't it convenient that Matt's in prison, and where do we think Brand New Day is going to be?
Man, they're not putting
We're fighting the hand.
They're not putting him in the movie, man. Like,
Well, you say Spider-Man about to break out Matt?
he's not doing that, man. Come on, let's speak.
What do we think?
Let's speak for real, man.
You don't think so?
If I was Matt, I would.
Matt is literally in prison. You're fighting the hand. Punisher's in it. Let's do
I'd
the
be
math.
like,
Nah, let's be for
nigga,
real.
where was you? Fucking Kingpin was mayor. Where was you, Spidey?
You know, this is all true, but we do kind of gotta leave this alone. We know where he at. He's in the movies, and this nigga's on TV. And like, you know,
Come on, man. Like, we
But
gotta
what was
stop.
literally in the movies, though.
But this is the reason why none of this shit works. None of this shit works partly because, you know,
It's rights issues.
Well, I have to ask. This brings up an important moment, because like, is the superhero game like the rap game in the MCU? Like, who's the actual king of New York? Is like Spider-Man Hove, and he's just like, I don't really got time for little rapper problems, Daredevil. I might get on a feature. Or do you think in this world Daredevil is over him now? Because nobody's in the street like.
you know what I think? I think it's too many villains, man. I don't think they got the time. I think when I think about the villains, everybody got like 9 villains.
Yeah, but like the
Not
battle of
sometimes they cross
Yeah, but the
over.
Battle of New York, it seems like an existential thing where like the mayor is calling for, you know, vigilantes to be killed in the streets.
Yeah, but you got to think about if you Spider-Man, right? Yeah, Kingpin's out here like, well, we should kill all vigilantes. But on the other hand, Zendaya was the love of my life, and I got to make her remember me. You got to have priorities. You understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
Spider-Man might be rounding up people to send them back to his world. Who knows? He always got some kind of fucking plucky ass problem that he dealing with.
Why are you
Yeah.
like this?
Like it
My
is.
dad's coming home.
What did you guys think about the a sort of Tony Stark moment that happened in the courtroom where Matt reveals that he's Daredevil to everybody.
Nah, that was. I like that. That had a lot of. To
Yeah.
me, had all the sauce, man. Because you see it loading. You can see it coming up. You're saying Daredevil was the only person on that boat. Yes, sir. Kingpin's like, all right, man. Like, if this is how you want to do it, go crazy. And he does, and everybody like. I thought that moment was great. I loved it.
It is a narratively it makes sense. I think Charlie Cox played it perfectly. There was a moment where I was like, this is some shit that works in the comic books.
And it's
that when
tough
you
to
see
translate.
it in the TV show, you're like, Court don't work like this.
I mean,
Yeah, no,
Like,
obviously
Court
Court
don't
don't
work
work like that.
Like, yeah,
No,
Court
it's
doesn't
not.
work
Like,
that,
I'm
yeah.
Daredevil. I'm like, damn, that was the best strategy we had on tap. That was the best strategy we could. Like,
I
the
love-
streets
I
need
do-
you.
I do love-
Like, what?
I love
Karen,
that
you gotta take the charge. Like, Karen, I'm sorry.
No,
You
I'm
was
not going
dumb.
to
You
take
got-
the charge.
why would Carrie
gonna
take the charge?
The city needs Daredevil more than anything.
He not go. He be all right. He tough. He tough. He be
Well,
all right.
you're telling me just strategically with everything going on,
The whole
the streets
point,
don't need Daredevil.
The whole. I mean, if Kingpin's
If
in
Kingpin's
prison,
out, then you don't need
Kingpin's out of
Daredevil.
here. You could probably be like, all right, I go to court. Maybe even if I make bail, if I don't get bail, my homie Jessica Jones got me. I'm straight. Spider-Man out there somewhere, right? They got me. I'm good. His whole thing is taking Kingpin down. He's not gonna kill him.
No.
Right? So what else can you do? Hey guys, I was there. It's me. I'm Daredevil. Everything that that guy said who died, I can verify. If you're gonna send me to prison, send him to
It's
Barbados.
also just a way to get rid of these secret identities, because if there's anything that has not aged with the secret identity is out.
Annoying.
So,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
only two niggas holding on to that.
What's your
Batman and
Instagram
Superman.
handle at this point?
The secret identity.
Spider-Man.
So Spider-Man holding on to it.
Spider-Man could be.
There's a whole
but
movie about it.
I mean, there was, but at the same time, there was a whole movie where he didn't have it anymore. So they flirted with it. They had to do a fucking magic trick to everybody in the entire world for Spider-Man to get his secret identity.
And he
The
lost.
secret
he lost
identity
his,
thing
lost his
is
aunt. He
tough
lost his
to
girl.
do now. It's a tough fucking thing. So they wanted to kind of get that out of Daredevil. I am interested in how that goes. I thought the moment really worked.
Yeah.
I thought the moment worked because of the power of the character of Matt Murdock. They were good by not giving us lawyer Matt Murdock throughout the whole season. By the time we got him, I thought it was really impactful.
Would you guys be convinced if you were in the MCU world? Because they like, how's a blind man Daredevil? And he goes, pop, and he catches it. All right, would that
I would've
be a
done something
moment
a
where you're
little
like,
cooler.
he's definitely Daredevil?
Would have done something a little cooler.
Yeah, I like do a backflip. You know what I'm
I'd
saying?
have
Leg,
done a
he shot
flip
the
and then
leg.
caught it.
He shot in the leg.
He shot in the leg.
He shot in the leg.
You can do a.
Y'all
I feel
don't
like
give
a blind
fuck
people.
about nothing about what y'all give a fuck
was
about.
kicking
Y'all
ass
want
in
the
the
nigga to
courtroom.
flip. He shot in the leg. He threw the thing. What is good enough for you guys? He threw the thing. It bounced off 3 fucking walls and he caught that
caught it.
bitch. He blind.
So?
What the fuck?
I feel like a blind person.
Daredevil, bro. Show me some Daredevil shit.
Honestly, I would have loved it if the judge saw that and they were like, okay, but like anything else?
Yeah, like, bro.
like,
give
one
I
us-
feel
more?
like a blind person can do a backflip. Like it's
Oh, come on. We
Let's
get it.
not-
like I don't understand the
I mean, you can,
rationale.
But you can. But
Blind people can do backflips.
That-
They can-
yeah,
they
so
can be
then-
ableist.
black-
So then why do you like do a backflip?
like, that's
Because
what
no,
Daredevil.
but to do a
Daredevil.
regular, to do a Chris Brown backflip, and then to do a superhero backflip is different.
No, wait.
What?
No, hold on.
I love that we're the
Go
judges
fuck yourself.
delineating if this man.
Wait, no, go fuck yourself. Either visually impaired people can do backflips or they can't.
Yeah, that's what you
Because-
said.
I didn't say that.
This is where the bitch
He's
shit
like, yeah, but
comes
it
in.
wasn't. Yeah, but
So
it wasn't.
what you
I feel like
guys
he's
just
so
said,
bad.
you guys just said, hold on.
What?
Jomi has won. You guys had just said that it's more impressive to show that he's Daredevil to do a backflip.
Like a super. I'm sorry, I didn't say.
3-point landing.
Hey, if you're a ninja, I want you to do some ninja shit.
he
like, I-
threw the thing off
So-
3 different parts of the
and-
wall.
if
and
anything,
caught
he
that
just
bitch.
proved that he was bullseye. at
He
that point.
legitimately did something that only Daredevil could do, besides maybe Bullseye, and you just want him to do something that anybody from Cirque du Soleil can do.
What?
Fair.
It just wasn't that cool to me. I was like, all right.
How about maybe
Niggas
like
from
pull out a
Cirque du
suit?
Soleil.
Jesus Christ.
But I thought it was a cool moment. It was cool to see old girl from The Wire there too.
Oh, as the
Oh, yeah.
judge, yeah.
She got
It took a second, but I finally clocked it.
She got the perfect, like, y'all got me fucked up face.
It's like, come
Okay.
on.
question for Vanessa's character. Not Vanessa's character. What's the I might have
McDuffie?
no. The
Heather?
she became Muse. What's her name?
Heather.
Heather's character. Question for Heather's character. I might have said Vanessa earlier when I meant Heather. So if that happened, guys, question for him. When did she learn how to hit people in the throat?
I mean, it's a pretty easy spot to get people fucked up with. Just hit him in the throat.
Maybe because this is also one of Matt's moves. Any single time Matt's on a date, he's just like,
teach you
let
how
me
to-
show you some martial arts. She might have like
Oh.
learned.
He
Self-defense.
might have taught her how to hit
It's a rough
people in
city.
the throat. Like, here, boom. Because she hit that nigga in the throat like
I thought he
Denzel
was
from He Got Game. Remember that joint?
Pow!
You ever seen when somebody hit? I wonder why don't people get hit in the throat more?
Because you can like cave in your
You can kill
fucking
somebody
trachea.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is that I see fights all the time, but what I don't see is quick shots to the throat.
I think there's this unwritten rule of like shit you don't hit. Like, don't punch him in the
Yeah,
nuts.
you hit
don't
somebody in the
punch him
throat,
in the
you
throat.
can kill him. Now you, instead of
Yeah.
like, battery, now it's a murder charge. I don't think that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
So
I think she was fine with it.
Also, I feel like
don't
most
think that
people are
get.
way too slow for that shit.
That's the reason why it doesn't happen. The reason why it doesn't happen is because hitting somebody dead in the throat precisely with that type of strike so fast that they can do nothing but grab their throat is actually really hard to do. And the fact that she did that shit like she was a goddamn Navy SEAL was hilarious to me. You go talk shit to boom right in the throat. I'm like,
I mean, I'd imagine
damn.
that somebody that A, lives in New York City and
No.
B, had maybe the bit of the trauma
Yeah,
that
maybe
came
quarter
with being
flipping.
new.
Maybe
Might have
she
taken
took
a class or
quarter
two.
flipping. Well, I haven't heard that in a long time.
Quarter flip. It's
Maybe-
that's
that's
a
not a
legitimate
quarter flip.
It is definitely a quarter.
You just
She
punch
was
somebody in the
no,
throat.
she was like a lecture. She was like, bah.
She hit him dead in the throat like
Hey,
she was
man.
motherfucking.
And
And
he's a
let's
prissy ass lawyer. He can.
let's think about it.
She
She went
can
through
do
a
that.
traumatic experience. A man came into her office and tried to kill her. You don't think maybe she took some self-defense
Yeah.
classes or something?
This is the
She learned
essence
some
of the
shit.
quarter flip.
and
guys.
was in there. And
Hold
was
on,
like,
wait, but you guys understand. We haven't been
You
back to
just
this.
said that her
If you
her
guys
moments
do
were
not
earned
know
in this show.
if you guys do not know what quarter flipping is, we will give you what's called a midnight refresher. In the show Hawkeye, Kate Bishop was training with
one of the most talented.
trained assassins in the world.
she was training with the actual Hawkeye, which is
Oh,
Clint
calm down.
Barton.
Let's
All
don't do
right.
that. Don't do that. Come on.
Don't say
Don't do
actual.
that.
Actual
They
Hawkeye, don't
both
do that.
Hawkeye.
The
They're both
original
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye.
Have some respect. Have some respect.
He's the actual Hawkeye, and that's okay.
Wait. Are we calling Chris Evans the actual Captain America?
What you mean? Yeah, he's the actual Captain America. He's,
Oh,
he's
my
Captain
God.
America. Captain America is a mantle. I've said this before.
Right.
You guys always, man. I've said this before. Mantle making is very hard. There's only a couple of different places where a mantle really exists and it can be transferred to other characters.
Green Lantern, Flash.
Green Lantern, Flash,
Undertaker.
But
Robin.
maybe though. Maybe. I would say Flash is maybe the best one. Green Lantern is also a good one. Green Lantern's a good one, but when you think about Green Lantern, they always take you back to Hal Jordan. When you think about the Flash, they always take you back to Barry Allen.
Nah, most people are like, "Who's your Flash?" There are more Wally West fans out there than there are Barry Allen.
Robin
I
actually
don't know
probably
if
would have
that's
been the
true.
best mantle maker.
I still think Robin is motherfucking Dick Grayson.
That is true.
That's true.
But it's a mantle that has like it's a real. Before we move on? What are the best mantles? The most like the mantle means more than the character. Captain America. I'm sorry, guys.
That's bigger than you.
That's
Rogers.
Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like that's Steve Rogers.
Man, you
But
guys talking about a mantle war?
we did didn't we do Mantle Wars?
We
did
did
Mantle
Mantle
We
Wars.
did Mantle Wars.
I mean, at this point, Spider-Man is a mantle, even though
The
It's
world
still
isn't hard.
I would
No, you can
say-
say it. Say it.
no, Peter Parker is the real Spider-Man.
Okay, I would
It-
say this though. We'll come back to quarter flipping. This is a midnight tangent. I would say this though, that Miles Morales at least proves that Spider-Man could one day
Anyone can wear the mask.
It could
Yes.
one day be a mantle that wasn't just like that connected to Peter
But
Parker.
they be treating him like Spider-Boy
They
a
do.
lot of time.
They do.
little bit.
They do. So I say that. So we'll come back to that question. Quarter flipping is the fact that Kate Bishop was learning how to flip a quarter into
To turn off a TV.
To turn off a TV,
Yeah.
and she learned basically in like one night, like hours, something that Clint Barton had been doing for his entire. She learned very quickly, and they didn't really show her going through all of the.
He wanted
The
a
training
6-hour
and the
episode.
trial and error.
Didn't
instead
want,
of the-
didn't want
It was
6-hour
a
episode.
montage, by the way.
They
It was-
did a
so
montage.
it's like
So
when
it's
you take a
third-
long
it's-
time.
I
and
would
put it-
say this is like a half quarter flip because I was like, when she learned karate?
She hit that nigga in the throat, and that nigga went. I mean, this dead. She them dead in the throat. Even if he got game when Denzel hits the nigga in the throat, right?
You're right.
Right.
Why is it expected that he could do that? Because he had been locked up
Yeah.
for like 10 years, and so you probably learn how to hit people in the throat. Okay. Now, before we move back, everyone, what are the most? This is basically, see, Jomi, this is how I look out for you. Because you know
Clip
what?
farming.
I'm clip farming right now.
Christ.
Clip
Well,
farming.
Prop
Clip
clipping
farm.
is
Yeah,
what
prop.
Tim Pool called it one time. That fucking idiot. So what are the best mantles? Meaning like the mantle is bigger than the character. Batman out. They've tried to mantle make Batman several times. Won't work. That's Bruce
This is an
Wayne.
odd one because you can't actually like pass it on, but like I feel like James Bond is basically this thing that like somebody makes into their own when the character becomes something
That's
bigger.
legitimately the worst possible example you could
It's
give.
because it doesn't
It's
get
the
passed
name
down.
of the guy.
Yeah.
007
007.
would be the mantle. Could somebody else be 007
Mhm.
and not be James Bond? The answer would probably be no.
No.
We're not fucking with that.
We're not doing that.
The
So
kid-
Flash is number one. You can pass the Flash mantle on.
You can pass Green Lantern
You
on.
can
I've
pass
done it
Green Lantern
a
on.
billion times.
I agree. Hal Jordan is usually the one, but if we're thinking about some of the biggest representations of Green Lantern, whether it's the animated series, whether it's Lanterns coming out, a lot of times they be leading with Jon Stewart. That also happens because DC don't got no black heroes. So it's like, who do we got? And they like, hey, put Jon Stewart in there. Sorry,
Right.
Hal. Who else? I
Robin,
think Spider-Man
obviously.
is at this point
a good mantle.
a good
Mhm.
mantle. Miles Morales is probably, but now that I think about it, as much as we say they tried it with Batman, if we're talking about you got Batman Beyond.
Yeah,
Right?
You got
It's-
fucking Dick Grayson was Batman for a while.
he was.
Like, man, they had Azrael as Batman for a while.
Right.
My thing is, other people can be Batman, but Batman is Bruce Wayne. Like, I'll ask you guys this: Black Panther.
Black
See,
Panther's
sure.
T'Challa.
Yeah, man.
Black Panther's T'Challa.
They
Come on.
Yeah.
Could you even
You know what?
name?
James Bond as the mantle is interesting.
What do you mean?
Nah, I still
No. I
But
actually, if I'm
I
gonna
was
be
trying-
real,
I was trying to
made it
lean
like a
into what you
personable
were-
perspective
Yeah,
of like
yeah, I was,
an
yeah,
actor
I agree
making
with
that.
you more than like I agree with you more than I understand what you were trying to say.
Yeah,
But
I misphrased it.
yeah.
damn, there's not that many successful.
There's
mantle
not.
passes.
They
Because
try
because
all
the
the time.
characters are just so important.
Yeah.
Right, like you can take Steve Rogers and then make him into Nomad or do something else and like
Yeah.
whatever. But all that's going to do is make people more interested in Steve Rogers than anyone else. These mantles were really formed around these characters. The reason why it is difficult to make somebody else Batman besides Bruce Wayne is because Bruce Wayne created Batman.
Yeah.
So like Batman emanates from Bruce Wayne. Like Bruce Wayne, it's his experience made Batman.
I mean, this
Like
is
Peter Parker's experience made Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So like we could tell the story of Miles Morales, and that's fucking awesome. And I think Miles Morales is flirting with being as popular as Peter Parker.
I think he's already more interesting than Peter Parker.
Interesting.
Really.
I, at this point, do think that they don't know what's happened with Peter Parker. I think in the comics and in the movies and everything is like we've so thoroughly exhausted every single Peter Parker story. It's now a generational war where someone's like, I want my Peter married. No, I want him to be fucking
Yeah.
poor forever. No, I
Yeah.
want my like. We want Spider-Man to be so many different things. Miles Morales actually just gets to be Miles Morales. We
Yeah.
get to tell Miles Morales Spider-Man stories instead of always litigating. Think about No Way Home. It's like Tobey Maguire, my Spider-Man. No, Tom Holland's my like. They all Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Miles Morales. If we being real, the last lever they need to pull in this shit is just bringing in Miles Morales. Like that's the actual like.
That's actually doing something.
Once you bring
So
him
that
into live action,
Neurotic and Critical Drinker can fucking lose their shit. Those two fucking guys.
Is that-
I
That'd
hate
be
those
great.
guys. I fucking hate those guys, man.
The discourse could discourse around that.
I don't
Yeah.
want that. That's the last thing I wanted.
I hate those guys. I hate the idea that every single thing that involves a different perspective on one of these characters or one of these worlds is somehow woke or against comic. I'm just that in and of itself. There's nothing worse than a racist comic book fan.
Yeah. Let those people show their ass though.
Like it's true. It's true. But so then they're none.
I mean, Black Widow. I mean, I think we're. I mean,
Black
it's not
Widow
like
kind of works.
but like Yelena.
I mean, Florence Pugh to me is a better Black Widow than Scarlet was,
Yeah.
but she gets more to do.
Wow. It's tough.
Yeah.
She gets more to do. It was a different time. Scarlet
Right.
she was busting down the door. So Florence Pugh could just be like, damn, this is my show now.
Here I am.
Yeah. Also, I also think the less famous the actual character is,
Easier.
the easier the mantle
Obviously.
is.
So
to pass.
Falcon.
Wow, it's tough.
I mean, anybody can be.
All
Cuz.
right.
They made
It's
Joaquin
interesting for you to say
Torres.
that.
Man.
They said it. They did it.
They made Joaquin
you know
Torres.
what I'm
Shout out.
All right,
to him.
before
got a
we
new
wrap
Falcon.
up on Daredevil, let's do a quick what works about where the heroes ended up. I think Luke Cage and Jessica Jones works.
Yes.
Alias Investigations, I'm already plugged in. I already want to see it. Wilson and Heather was one that I was left a little wanting.
Heather worked for me. I thought it was interesting. I actually don't know if it works. Depends on what they do. I thought it was interesting though to see where her character was going to go.
Muse to me didn't work. Why are we doing Lady Muse now?
Well, I mean, I think this Muse could work better than the last Muse. Maybe they're
We have a
doing
lot more
retcon on
context
Muse.
as to
We have
why
like-
this Muse
Yeah,
works.
we have more musing here. More music. We're musing over things. The Fist stuff is they didn't know what to do with them, dog.
They took him. He took the deal.
He took
I
the
know.
deal.
I know, but it's like the next season is going to be. I think the next season needs to give us a quick fist.
But what I didn't understand is they're like, yeah, take the deal, Wilson. I'm like, this man just murdered
Like 20 people.
20 people in front of.
kill the doctor, hospital. Try to kill the governor.
I'm like, it does because there's just like Matt's getting arrested for being Daredevil, and the mayor of New York is ripping humans in half.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he just gets to be on a beach somewhere.
What?
As opposed to you gonna put him in jail again, and then what? He gonna sit there,
But
make Matt mad.
the crazy thing about that is that we know, and this is why that's unrealistic. We know that in real life, the powerful men that commit all the worst crimes always get sentenced to jail. And
That's you know what? You're right.
But
we
want to know
that
what
they
we also
end
know?
up. We know that they never end up on an island
Yeah.
with other powerful men.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's
I
what
just know
Fisk is.
you did.
Fisk is definitely in
He's
Epstein Island.
Yeah,
I
he's
would
on the
hope-
flight logs for sure.
I would hope
Like, that's what
that
Fisk
if
is.
we
That's
have,
what Fisk is for sure. You guys crazy. Fisk.
if we have
Epstein
another
Island.
insurrection, I would hope if we have video proof
that he was
of
ripping
Donald
people in half.
Trump just
Ripping kids in
Imagine
half.
ripping people, we'd be like, all right, man.
That's enough's
just
enough.
like snapping necks, we'd be like, hey, you know what?
Don't people taking people, throwing them
Wait a
at
minute.
walls, breaking their back like that?
Wait, did they do a? No,
Did what?
did they do a? Is this show a pro insurrection show? This finale?
What, you thought that was like a January 6th thing that they were
I
doing?
mean, it definitely
Yeah,
people
I mean,
storming
it kind
the
of
courthouse.
does explain it. It kind of like.
a little
Am I
bit.
dumb?
But
I don't know if it's
well, I think,
pro-
I think
Why
it
did
was-
why
I
did
took
this
it
just
as that.
occur? Did you? Why did
Pro
this just occur to me?
insurrection?
No,
Well,
not pro
it's not a
insurrection.
pro-insurrection, it's an
I think
allegory.
this
fuck
was
all that,
anti-insurrection,
nigga.
if I'm
Fuck
being
all
honest.
that. It would have to be fucking pro.
No,
Because the
why?
people,
No, I didn't read it that way.
motherfucker, the people ran into the city hall against the leader, got the leader out. If you're looking at it, it would almost have to be pro-insurrection.
No,
But-
because
no,
then
no,
what
no.
does Matt
This.
say?
He
Matt
begs them
says
to be better.
we need to be better. We can be better. And that to me, that's why I didn't like that it was alluding to the insurrection. Because what it is saying is
Interesting.
the only way
I am
forward is grace.
You guys are
Grace,
right.
exactly.
And I'm just like, hey, that don't work with fucking murderers and pedophiles.
Yeah.
Yeah, that don't.
But
no.
at the same time, though, they were successful as insurrectionists.
Well, a lot of them died.
mean,
They were successful as insurrectionists. To me,
I mean, the people that turned out to be pancakes at the hand of Fisk
Wilson
would
Fisk
say otherwise.
is on
but-
an island right now, and no one got any justice or restitution.
yeah,
but
if my homie got like his head smashed in by Kingpin, and they like, hey, what happened to him? He out there.
He took a deal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he took a deal. He out
but
there.
they
on
still
St.
got
Thomas.
him.
Like,
They didn't get Fisk, but they still got him out of
Out of
being
New York?
mayor.
Out of New
they
York,
wrested power away from him. They deposed their leader
Nah, man.
by running
But
into
the underlying
thing.
politics, which I always feel like
Maybe it's more of a French Revolution thing.
nah, man.
Maybe it's more of a. Are we right in calling this? Did they have
It's,
anybody?
well, I mean,
I don't
it's-
think it's a crazy
something?
cop.
Are we
no, no,
being
no. I
woke?
don't think we're. I don't think.
No,
we're,
when they were running up the steps, I'm just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh. But I was
That
like,
main
it's
hall
obvious.
looked
What
just
the fuck
like-
are you talking about?
Yeah, it's obvious.
Yeah, it's obvious.
But it still was. There was a moment where I'm like, why are the heroes always like, we better than this? Nigga, no, we're not. No, like, no,
You're
kill
better
him.
than this. I'm
kill
not.
him.
I
They should have
think-
killed Kingpin, if we're being real.
Man,
Batman should kill
can't.
Joker.
People been
Daredevil should kill Kingpin.
But you can't do that though. You can't kill the guys.
You can. I think in a
What?
superheroes. I think in a superhero storytelling.
I'll tell you guys. Well, I think we've talked about this, but I'll tell you guys why you can't kill the people.
In a I feel like if you're an action movie and everybody's humans, yeah. In a superhero movie, when you like have powers and stuff, you can't do that because then it looks like if Superman was out there killing people, right, willy nilly, then he's just an overlord. Then he's just like a god who can like live and decide. Who chooses who lives and
hire
dies.
Bullseye, and you like, hey,
I think we probably talked about this before. It was either on this podcast or another podcast. The reason why you can't kill the people is because of what it means to. All right, so like, can we give credit to Steve's forefathers real quick?
Oh, what?
Steve's forefathers.
okay.
All right, so they led a revolution.
Yeah.
And in this is going to be the most pro-America fucking thing that you've ever heard me say. They led a revolution. They led a revolution, and they deposed and overthrew the people that were lording over them.
Mm-hmm.
But I will give them credit as they were raping, pillaging, destroying Black lives.
Right.
I'll give them credit for
Indigenous
something.
lives, yes.
Indigenous lives, of course. I'll give them credit for something. They realized that for what they did all of this for to be lasting, that it couldn't be about them. They couldn't be the ones that decided who was good or bad. Because if they did that, then the ideals and the structure and the country itself, it died with them. Then once they were gone, maybe you didn't have somebody as genius as Thomas Jefferson and Benjamin Franklin, or someone that could, make government as well as Madison or whatever. Maybe you didn't have guys like that. So what you needed was something that was bigger than them, something that was their way of looking at it, and that's the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
The Constitution is something that is ever changing and adapting, and it should be, and it's bigger than them. It's over them. This thing it's not about us. We are a rule not of men. We have the rule of law, which is why somebody trying to subvert that is such a big deal.
Right.
Batman not killing is his constitution.
Yeah.
That's the thing that he submits to that he's under. He's under an ideal. Superman's vision and version of the world where he doesn't kill Lex Luthor, doesn't kill these people, that's their constitution. That's the thing that they are bound to that keeps them eternally on the right side of things. Because if they don't, two things will happen. Number one, the next Batman is maybe more brutal than them. Like they don't have anything to really teach people. And number two, they're always sort of moving the lines about what they think is right. There's nothing that governs them that is bigger than them. And so what I used to think the easiest thing to do is to take the Joker out. And look, maybe you should take the Joker out. But if you take the Joker out, you take Kingpin out, you start taking these people out, then you got to kind of ask yourself, you're making the rules, like Jomi said, of who lives and who dies. And as corny as this is, and it is corny, you now are the Joker. And that.
But you know better than anyone, especially if we go back to the founding of America and everything. Because I agree with you in terms of like it's important making an ideal that will outlive you. But baked into the laws, baked into the structure, is we never want what we did to our rulers, overthrowing them, to happen to us. So you make rules and you make laws that protect a certain type of white male landowner. And you're like, hey, no, we all got rights, free rights. Yeah, it's here. We got more rights than you do. So when you try to attach it to like Daredevil and Trump and insurrection, where I think a lot of these shows, even The Boys, fail, is it saying like, but we're better than them. We have to rise above. And I'm like, sometimes there's no rising above genocide. There's no rising above pedophilia. Like there's, people are evil and you got to take them out. Like I know that's right, but like.
Well, so let me tell you another reason why I disagree. Like, it would have been crazy if you could have taken, for all the problems that America has, and those problems will be infinite, and those problems, some of them to me are insurmountable. Boy, I'll tell you what, if you could, I would have given anything to go from 1776 to 2008 and have all of those guys watch Barack Obama like early 2009.
That would have been
sworn
great.
in. All of them niggas would have been like, "Are we sure that we did the right thing?" You guys see?
By the way, this is what happened.
Thomas Jefferson would have been like, "That guy looks just like my son." that I had with Sally.
I know a couple of
The
those.
children. Like really? So what I'm
And
saying.
guess what happened literally the next day after 2008? We had a bunch of people in this country be like, we are gonna make them pay.
I know, but understand what I'm saying though. The only thing, not the only thing, but one of the things that gets us to that point is when we are arguing over like America, the interesting superhero quote, when we're arguing over America, we're actually arguing over the version of the way things should be, right? Now, some of these things are human rights, and I don't think it takes a genius. Thomas Jefferson, these guys were geniuses. I don't think it takes a genius to point out some of these things. Life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. I mean, you're born with that, right? But the reason why it was so profound is because they said it. It's because they went, hey, by the way, you shouldn't have to earn humanity. You're born with that. So you can't come and tax me and do all of this stuff to me without me having to say in it. I was born, not. You don't give me my rights. God, the universe, nature, whatever, they give me the rights. Now, here's this document that is supposed to permanently undergird and protect these rights. That gets you 100 years from then with a bunch of people saying, hey, what about us? What about women? What about black people? What about queer people? What about all of these people? If you guys are saying that this thing is the thing that guarantees us this, it's imbued by God, and strengthened and fortified by this document, then we have to be a part of that too.
If we take this and transition really quickly to The Boys, because I think what's interesting is like The Boys and Daredevil are almost litigating the same thing. They're both trying to be shows that are showing us what it means to be alive in this time. And I actually thought this episode of The Boys, even if I didn't like all of it, the conversation that he had, that Homelander has with the older gentleman, where he's just like, this happens to all of us. You want to be God. You're getting to a point in your life where you're aging and you don't want to be put out to pasture. You want to think of yourself as the God. You want immortality. You can't let go. And to me, it mirrors Daredevil in the same way, where like Matt's looking at Fisk and being like, to save New York, this place that we both supposedly love, we need to let go. Like a lot of what we keep talking about in politics and younger generation is like, what does it mean for like the baby boomer generation to be like, we've had enough wealth, enough power, we need to pass it on. And I was just like, it's funny seeing both of these shows that have aging actors, aging showrunners, aging superheroes, litigating what does it mean to really save New York, the world, and just like ourselves, America. I thought
In this episode of The Boys, in regards to your question, I think the thing that sticks out for me is the conversation at the end with Homelander and Soulja Boy, right? Because Soulja Boy the entire time has been like, actually, I hate this guy. He's supposed to be my son. He's supposed to be my legacy. Like, I've completely messed this whole thing up. But there's one thing that connects those two people together, and that's Stormfoot, Clara, right? Despite all her issues, they for whatever reason have both connected with that character, and in a moment that surprises literally every single person in the show, even including Sister Sage, supposed to be able to see everything. He goes, "I hate your guts, I hate everything about you, but she likes you. Here you go." We talk about like white people helping white people.
Was that supposed to be like white supremacy coded, where I took that as, you could take it two ways. Sister Sage had a blind spot because she could not calculate that Soulja Boy's love for Stormfront she wasn't calculating that in her decision. But the other thing I don't think that she was calculating was that for Soulja Boy, someone who was in love with Stormfront, of course he would see his son and be like, even if I don't necessarily believe you are a god, I believe that you are the future of humanity, the apex of where we need to go, which I thought was like even though I think all the backdoor pilot shit for Soulja Boy is starting to piss me off, still that central relationship between Homelander and Soldier Boy I find fascinating.
It really, really, really works. And it's a shame that it's going to be ending very soon, but I'm very fascinated as to how quickly they can truncate that, knowing that what would likely be coming at the end of this season is going to be left out on the shelf for that. I think that this is kind of like how I felt after Alien Earth, where like the exploration of these ideas in The Boys, simply the conversation of what the show gets us to talk about, I feel like is better executed and a lot more important than how the show executes it itself.
I totally disagree.
You don't think so?
I think
the show is good, but
no,
I think the show is.
I think the show sometimes is so great. I just wish we could luxuriate in those moments and not constantly have like, did I need an old man Soup with stretchy powers fighting Butcher with his balls?
No.
That's a moment where I'm like,
I was whack.
and that's away from actually really interesting parts of the show. I'm like, oh,
right.
You guys are getting at stuff in the final season, but you can't get out of your own.
Gets out of its own way.
I will say they didn't stay with that as long as I was afraid that they were going to stay with that too long. They got out of it pretty quickly, but that was whack. I didn't really need that.
I mean, the guy already had the stretchy dick. Why do you need a stretchy
I know.
balls?
It's like, so, but look, I think both of you guys are making fantastic points. I'll say this. Sage is a computer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And in a way, her character to me this year almost represents AI and some of the things that AI gets wrong.
Okay.
Like the way that Sage looks at stuff, she looks at stuff in a synthetic way. Probability, what should make sense.
Yeah.
Like Claude was my friend.
Oh God.
Claude is an LLM that is
Jesus
predictive.
Christ.
You put enough into Claude, and Claude then tells you based upon all of the information in the world what your response is going to be. Claude just doesn't know what it's like to see your child.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like to see your child. All I know is that I've known people that have learned of children, who have missed children, who have come to children after years and their lives have been completely changed, right? I know of people who thought they were fathers and it turned out that they really weren't. I know of people who didn't know and it turned out that they really was. And there's something fundamental to humanity that we all kind of know is inexplicable. So you can't, and that means you can put people in systems to make them predictable.
Yeah.
But that is the worst thing. How can I say this? I'll say this better. I was at a dinner one time with this guy, and this guy was talking about the fact that people are really, really predictable. It was at this dinner. It was a really interesting conversation. This guy's like a tech guy. He was talking about people are they're really predictable. And I was like, the reason why you think people are so predictable is because you make them eat the same food, you make them go to the same school, you make them live in all the same neighborhoods, the same environment. So you put them in a system that makes them predictable.
Yeah.
Human beings are endlessly curious, and there's we've proven that. They're unique, right? That is kind of what is being thrown around in that scene. She is a computer. She's used to systems dictating the way people act.
Yeah.
So she is the system. She thinks if I do enough stuff, they'll react the way I know that they will and the way that I want them to. But you just can't predict what you're going to do when you see your son.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can't predict how you're going to feel. Is Homelander's immortality your immortality? Is Homelander you? Can you, you just don't know how you're going to feel. Also, there's a white supremacy thing in there.
Oh, yeah.
Like you said, there's a thing to where, look, they're not trying to fuck with you. They would rather buzz it up between themselves, even if they don't like each other that much, even if there's something that's fundamental that comes between them. They would rather be reigning held and serve in any heaven that you would be a part of. And she missed it. She missed it because she is Claude. She is Chat. She is all of this. And, she just can't quite yet, do the Wagner, the Fifth Symphony, Mozart. She can't do that yet. She can't, she don't know how to do that yet. So when that scene happened, I thought that was a fucking awesome scene because we don't even really know. We have an inkling of why he did that. But he just gave away the whole store and we don't quite know yet, right? I thought that was really dope. I thought, to your point, this episode was exactly what The Boys does right, and then sometimes exactly what The Boys does wrong.
Yeah.
Like, because like,
Gets
I
in
don't
its own
need
way.
the saggy dick
But
shit.
it was
I don't need
there
it
were
no
so
more.
many good parts of it where I was wondering in this final season, what would the more radical thing for The Boys to actually like linger on these moments and actually spend, because
They
to
can't.
your
They gotta
point,
give
Steve,
you bomb sight for Vought Rising
that's-
and all of that stuff. Like they trying to do a lot.
That is the major frustration when it comes to the final season of this
And
show.
this was a good
because
episode. By
It was
the
a
way.
good episode,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like I feel like this show forgets the fact that it's earned the right to take itself seriously after these many
Great
seasons.
point.
Like it feels like it's almost afraid of being too serious with
Yeah.
these characters and with these moments to undercut it sometimes with a dick joke or something like that.
Yeah.
It really has earned the right to be a lot more dramatic and a lot more serious, knowing that it's coming to the end of something. And we don't need all of those things that kind of, take the legs out
The
from
scene
underneath
between
it.
Godfather and Starlight, oddly good.
Yeah.
Just with him being like a
Father?
false fake prophet that used to be not one.
Yeah.
Just oddly good.
I
Oddly
mean-
good scene.
I think that Mother Milk's arc is interesting, but it doesn't, to me, they're not giving it enough time, which is like, I do think it's interesting that like everyone he meets from his past or present are like, this doesn't seem like you. You're acting like Butcher. You're about to commit like a genocide, kill millions of people. Why? But because there's so many jokes and stuff happening, we're not like getting to spend time on like, oh, the two hearts of this show, Huey and Mother's Milk, aren't actually getting enough screen time and narrative, like to really bring home what is the difference between them and Butcher.
Gotta set up that Vought Rising spinoff, brother. You know?
By the way, some of that's bomb sight. Who is he? He's supposed to be like Cannonball.
Yeah.
Who's
Kinda,
Bomb
yeah.
Sight? Is he Cannonball?
Yeah.
So bomb sight, all of this stuff that took us to the Soup's old folks home and him wanting to be there and all of that stuff was cool. But for the last 2 episodes, I'll really be interested. The thing is this: Homelander is evil incarnate, and now he is all powerful. Is humanity desperate enough to stop him?
Yes.
Can he be stopped? The boys' world is the boys' world, and we're here for it. Stretch, dick, fart, going to somebody's asshole, all of that stuff, cool. All of that stuff is work. But like, this show was compelling to Steve's point for reasons that are more than that.
Yeah.
And in the last couple of episodes, will they take the terror that is Homelander seriously enough to land this plane appropriately? And will it work on us knowing that there's another show coming and knowing that they are being so fucking heavy-handed with the fact that show is coming? I love the boys.
It is a lot.
I love everything about the boys. I've always loved the show, but I don't know another show that in its last season was going, hey, there's more.
We're not
Don't
over
worry.
yet.
It's not over. It's
You gotta go. Hey, the
this-
after
this
party
is-
over there.
Hey,
Hey, man,
we
y'all
got
there's
all
gotta
more.
this
go.
internal marketing at the final season of Game of Thrones. Like everybody's getting a show. Don't worry.
Yeah,
House
so
of the-
so
yeah.
like, they are in order to do that, they are sacrificing a little bit. And it's also odd to do it, truly last thing I'll say, it's also odd to do it with a prequel. Because a prequel is a story before the story. So this is the end of the story.
Right.
So this
We'll see all those old folks again.
yeah, so like it's interesting to do with a prequel.
Imagine
do
if
it
they
this
had
way.
a spinoff set in the same time with maybe younger characters
Kids in college,
that
maybe.
could handle the mantle.
Well,
That's crazy.
before we get to nerd news, we can't forget Midnight Meter, Daredevil, Born Again, Season 2.
Mm.
Y'all know what it is. 1 to 12, 1 being the worst, 11, 12 reserved for game changers. Start with you, Van.
Man, I'm tempted to go 9, but it's an 8.
8. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 7.
Yeah.
Go
Same.
7.
Strong 7.
We're going with the 6.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Not a diss, just
Honestly, you surprised me.
I thought the show, and I'm telling y'all something, I'm looking forward to and fully expecting not a good 3rd season of Daredevil Born Again. Classic shit.
Yeah.
It's coming out March 2027, so it's a quick turnaround.
They shooting now. They might be finished.
Yeah.
Like
it's coming around.
They're shooting now. I'm expecting classic shit. We didn't even talk about Bullseye going there, switching places, and now he's working with. Talk about these kids.
Which
like
sorry,
classic
did Bullseye technically miss?
When did he miss?
He
sniper shot.
Well,
he shot Buck.
Well, you remember he shot what's his name? Matt in the season 1, right? Somebody jumped in front of there, somebody moved when he ain't supposed to move. Like he had the shot lined up, and when something else happens, hey.
Oh yeah, I mean, you mean like you thought it was a kill shot for Buck, but then he just kind of left Buck. Buck got shot in that.
But like he didn't like load something else. Did he only took one shot? Okay.
Nah, he's all right.
All right, and then real quick, we got the Odyssey trailer. This week, we're gonna do a little bit of nerd news on it. I believe this is the first time we get to see the Cyclops in full.
Right.
I did like the design.
That looked great.
Now, last time we checked in on the Odyssey, what game were we watching at Van's house?
It was probably NFC, AFC Championship games.
Yeah, playoffs.
Yeah.
That was Travis Scott gate. We were like,
all right, straight up.
Right.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna start with you, Van, because you, me, Kalika, before Mortal Kombat 2 was talking about it. Excited? Trepidatious? How are you feeling after this latest trailer? Don't be Hollywood about it.
I don't know none of these niggas. I know some of them. I know. Oh, whatever. So this is what I'll say. The trailer was fine for me. I do understand what people are talking about, though.
For the audience, can you explain? What's the reaction to the trailer?
So the reaction to the trailer is, are we fucked? And I'll tell you what this is a combination of. Huh? It's a combination of, Steve, I'm just telling you what's being said.
Okay.
Like it's a combination of just massive, almost indescribable anticipation and expectation. Mm-hmm. That's the first thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer arguably was Nolan's apex just in terms of just like, motherfucker made a movie about fucking Oppenheimer, and it was a huge, Barbenheimer was obviously, but like, what other director in America could pull that off and make almost $1 billion?
Yeah.
When Drake dropped his first album and people listened to it, nobody's gonna remember this now, and everybody's gonna take this as a diss. I was there, it fucking happened. When Drake dropped his first album and people listened to it, they were like, oh.
There was disappointment.
Yeah, they were like...
Are you thinking Thank Me Later, or is it...
No,
very
this
first
thing,
one,
people forget
so
I was there.
Yeah.
When Thank Me Later dropped, because Best I Ever Had was so big.
And because So Far Gone was so amazing.
So amazing. He had changed all this shit. I remember the first single, it was Over. It dropped and people was like, oh, that's not what...
Oh,
okay.
The first song, Fireworks, was like, oh.
With Alicia Keys, yeah, we're like, this is it.
Like, oh. And Drake himself said, look, I just feel like people need to like open the packaging up and see that like angels and heaven wasn't going to pour out of the packaging of the CD. Even he addressed it. The reason why I bring that up now is because there's a little bit of that with the Odyssey. Part of people are expecting for their boner to get harder the more they see of the Odyssey. They're not expecting to look at it and have any questions. They're expecting there to be a reinforcement of this is going to be the greatest movie of the year.
Okay.
The best thing that's ever happened. Like
the hype is eating itself.
Nolan is, and when they get things that they go, that doesn't feel right, it starts to eat at the confidence that they had in the movie. Now, there are a lot of things that you look at and you go, is that gonna work? Is this sort of Greek epic that is the foundation of storytelling gonna work with a sort of modern day vernacular and take it? Can Nolan's style even be used to make a movie like this? It's like that movie when Aronofsky made Noah, right?
Oh yeah,
and that it was kind of a climate change biblical
allegory,
epic, allegory, and it was like, does this thing work in this set of toys? And there's a possibility that it doesn't work. Now, I'm not saying that it won't, but there's a possibility that it doesn't.
But you brought up something interesting at the movie theater where I think Nolan's not even late stage trick, but as he got progressively like more experience as a director, part of buying into to Nolan was like, oh, what's Nolan's spy movie gonna be?
He can Nolan
What's his
anything.
dream? Like, there's tons of movies about dreams. What's his dream movie? What's his war movie?
Yep. He can Nolan a magician movie. He can Nolan a Batman.
Yeah.
He can Nolan space. He can Nolan
A biopic.
Biopic. He can Nolan it all. Can he Nolan the Odyssey?
But to me, Sword and Sandals to me was like on paper is the easiest thing for him to do because besides being very good at like structure and time, Nolan is an epic filmmaker. You know, he's one of the in terms of our new generation of just like IMAX culture and movie bros wanting to go and see it on this format and that format. I think Nolan was at the forefront of being like, when you see my movies, you need to see them big, you need to see them in theaters, fuck streamers, all that shit. To me, Sword and Sandals makes so much sense for Nolan in terms of like, that's the original epic. That is the original source code for everything. And watching this movie, there are moments where I'm like,
watching the trailer, you mean?
No,
you haven't seen
not the movie, the trailer.
Yeah.
Where I was like, oh, I know too much about Tom Holland, and I've seen him be a little bro.
Right. This is
Dad
Gate.
I'm like, this is the original little
Come
bro.
on.
No, y'all know when we got to that
This
point,
is
you were a
getting
little like,
exhausting.
come on.
This is
No,
getting
I
exhausting,
said that in the
man.
first one. I was like, I don't know if that is my dad coming shit. Like, I don't know if that's gonna work. But I said,
Am I being a hater? Wait, I'm being a hater?
I know, nope.
I don't think it's a hater.
I
I,
don't
I
think
think
it's
we're
being a
looking for
hater,
stuff to
man.
complain about right now.
I just like the character in the book is like, where's my dad?
Yeah, where's it's?
I don't know what I don't know what you want from the character. Like the original "Where's My Dad" character.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But yeah,
I'm
it's
sorry.
just, I've seen a lot of that from Tom Holland before, and there was a moment where I was like, oh, okay, if this is gonna be a big part of the whole movie,
Hey, guess what? My running joke. I can't wait to not properly hear this movie. Anyway,
All right.
Because the
I don't
mix
know,
is gonna be
man.
bad anyway.
Well, I mean,
I can't hear it. No, Robert Pattinson's gonna cook. This is gonna be great.
yeah.
I'm excited. That Cyclops looked awesome. I think that
the
there's
Cyclops did look dope.
That looked awesome. I think there's going to be that great homage to that painting of I think Jupiter eating his son. I saw that still, and I'm like, that's exactly out of this painting. It's great. This is cool. I don't understand why we're even trepidatious here.
My thing is, I didn't know the Odyssey had shooters like this.
People are in the
People are
bag
locked
for the
in,
Odyssey.
but at least that means people are still reading, which is really good. We take those.
Yeah.
I'm watching the thing. I'm like, yo, this. We all know the story of Odyssey. It's one of the oldest stories ever told. I can see the vision. I can see.
Oh, I can see the vision.
So, like, I don't understand why people are just, like, trepidatious, like, legitimately, like, worried and
We're
scared.
Tenet truthers. You know I'm in the Nolan bag.
You know?
I love Nolan. We do have to be real. I do think there's a lot of trailers that are coming out where I'm like, hey, yo, Nolan's human. Spielberg is human. I'm not saying the movie's going to suck. I'm just saying, based off the trailers, I'm like, okay, interesting. I'm going to have to wait to see this one. But it's instead of, I was walking into this year thinking the Odyssey was going to be the best movie of the year and going to be like, hey, at the Oscars, at everything, box office, y'all got to beat this. I got more money on Dune 2. Dune 3 at this point.
Ah, man. We have to see it, man.
I mean, I think Dune 3 is probably Dune 3 is a sure bet. It's the third part of a story that we've been really invested to. I don't think he's crazy for saying that. I think that people are expecting one thing from a movie like The Odyssey.
Yeah.
There's a sort of pomp and circumstance that comes along with like foreign accents. Like
What?
You do some shit and you use American accents and vernacular, and it feels like the Star Wars was able to do it, right?
Sure.
Like Star Wars was able to do, but even in Star Wars, your evil characters have British accents. That makes them kind of sound a little eviler or a little bit more important. Like your wizard, Obi-Wan has a evil accent, which makes him sound a little bit more wizardy. Like Luke and them sound like more relatable because they sound like people that was going to the Dairy Queen, and all. Luke sound like the nigga that worked at the
Backwater Planet Tatooine.
Backwater Planet Tatooine, all of that.
Pick up
shit.
power converters.
We got constitutions, power converters.
But Luke is not plucky.
He's not plucky to me. But he's not plucky to me.
Wait, Luke isn't plucky?
He's not really that plucky to me.
Okay.
In A New Hope.
Nah, he's not that plucky.
Hey, it's out the mud with Rashad McCants.
He's not really that plucky to me.
Yeah.
Do you know why he's not? You know why he's not?
Nah, you got it, big dog.
Do you know why he's not that plucky to me?
Arguing the first time we meet him, he arguing with the fucking droids and his parents.
But do you know why he's not that plucky to me?
Why not?
He not that plucky to me. He's young and annoying, but he not that plucky to me because Luke listens in A New Hope. Luke listens. Like all throughout Luke, A New Hope, he's bucking back against his parents a little bit, but that's because he wants to do something else. Right. But Luke listens.
When Ben shows up, he's like, all right.
It's not like Obi-Wan says, hey, Luke, don't do this. And Luke goes, hey, fuck you.
Yeah, because he wants to be a Jedi. He wants to be something bigger.
Empire, when like your training's not done, it's like, I gotta go save my friend.
But see, that to me, that by that point, we out of the plucky stage. Right? Like I'm talking about Luke, and even in that though, the way I look at pluckiness, and I'm using plucky wrong. My pluckiness is badass kids fucking up the story. I don't like it.
You don't like them when they talk back.
I don't.
To the elders.
No, I don't like it when somebody says, "Hey, kid, don't touch the green diode of power, or else it's going to drain all of the energy from the planet."
Right.
And the kid touches the green diode of power, and it I hate that fucking shit, bro. Get them out of my fucking stories.
Right.
I would rather there be an adult with some trauma that touches the green diode of power because they want to use it or harvest the power. Just because a fucking kid fucks up the whole fucking thing. Yeah. I fucking hate it. I'm sorry. I can't watch it. Yeah. Now, if you guys want to take Skywalker as being plucky, fuck it. I'll give it to you. But what I like about Skywalker and New Hope is Skywalker is obedient. All right? Skywalker is told to do things.
He just wants these fucking kids to listen. That's all he wants.
Did you just ask me if I want obedient children? Yes. Do what the fuck you're told. Because you don't know nothing. Because, like, you don't know. You don't know.
That doesn't make a story. That don't make for good story. No.
Don't like it.
God.
If Hansel and Gretel are fucking obedient, there's no story.
Right. Obedient children. People are trying to tell you, I can't fucking stand it. I remember my nephew back in the day. Bruh. Back in the day, I bought him the PlayStation, dog. I bought him the PlayStation, right? He takes the PlayStation out. He's so happy. Right. He takes the PlayStation out, puts the PlayStation on the counter. I say to him, take the fucking PlayStation and hook it up or put it back in the box. All right? There's no reason to walk around with it like it's a fucking trophy. You play video games on it, right? It's like a PlayStation 3, I think. Take it, put it back in the box, or go hook it up so you could play it.
I already know what's going to happen.
Oh, no.
What do you think happened to the PlayStation?
Broke it.
He broke the fucking PlayStation. He broke the PlayStation.
How old was he?
I don't even want to talk about it. He was
how old
young.
was
He
he?
was like 9 or 10. He broke
too old.
He broke the play.
It's brutal.
Pop, crack. I come in there. I look at him. He looking at me, tears in his eyes. I'm like, you're not getting another one. You're not getting another one. And then everybody looked at me like, that's not money for you. You're not getting another place.
Wait, they looked at you like, get him another one.
Because plucky has been accepted.
Okay, so plucky's a drain on your pockets is what it sounds like.
I don't give a fuck about that shit. What I'm saying is me.
Did you get him another PlayStation?
Of course.
Yeah.
Wait. How long did you wait to get him the next one?
Well, number one, it was nothing to get him a new one. We had just bought it, so you can just bring it back. And
okay. Did it like not work, or did it just
I
crack?
didn't want him to get him. No, he broke that bitch.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't want him to get him a new PlayStation. Period. And I'll tell you why.
Teach the lesson.
Teach the lesson.
It's a lesson.
1986. We gotta go. 1986. I don't know if I told this story before. 1986. I get the flyest gift I've ever gotten. I get my first car. My first car is a Bigfoot, big wheels, Hot Wheels. Okay, Power Wheels. It's a Bigfoot Power Wheels.
Is it one of the motorized ones?
It's one of the electric motorized joints.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like I get it. Right. For one day, I'm whipping. I'm driving around the neighborhood. I'm on my shit. Yeah. I'm pulling up to people. They're like, "Oh, look at Van with the Power Wheels." I'm like, "Just get out of here, man." Like, I'm talking all around. I'm talking Spain Street, like right off Government Street, right next to Baton Rouge High, where we live. I'm whipping it in the Power Wheel. My cousin Coy comes over, asks if he could ride the Power Wheel. My dad looks at me. My dad says, "Something wrong with that boy. Something wrong with that boy. If you let him ride your Power Wheels, I'm telling you, either go take the Power Wheels and go somewhere, or something else is gonna happen." All right, I did not listen.
Of course not.
Because I wanted Coy to be able to like take my shit around. You whip it for a second. You come up too. You my cousin.
Everybody comes up.
You come up.
Everybody eats.
I come up. You come up. You come up too.
Right.
You come up too.
What did your dad see in him though?
The vision.
I come up, you come up. I will never forget this scene. We are in the back of the house. Like we're in the backyard, Spain Street, Baton Rouge.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the back of the house. Mama and Daddy was in the front digging worms. They were digging in the front to get bait to go to Ramey and fish. They were digging for worms, right? And so we in the back of the house. Coy's driving the Hot Wheels around. Then he stops. He gets under the Hot Wheel and he does something. I do not know why he did this. He did something under the Hot Wheels. And then he gets back in it. He drives it for a little while. It stops. He tries to drive it a little bit more. It stops.
Yeah.
Then the Hot Wheels, it won't go. He gets up and goes in the house. I go over and look at the Hot Wheel. And then I go get Dad. And Dad was like, he broke it. I was like, I don't know what he did. He broke it. And my dad goes, you're not getting another one. Like, you're not getting another one. And guess what? I held on to the husk of the Hot Wheel just to sit in it till about 1989.
So years.
1989, we were 18?
I held on to the husk, but did I get another Hot Wheel?
No.
But you see, the next time somebody gave me something and it was for me, you better not motherfucking touch my motherfucking shit. That is the thing. Another person didn't come along.
If anybody would like to give Van a Hot Wheel,
Castle Grayskull,
and fuck up my shit. Castle Grayskull. Coy was the same nigga. He was like, hold on. Wait a second. That's the same nigga. I told the Castle Grayskull story, did I not? That's the same fucking guy, right?
Why'd you let him on your Hot Wheels?
Because this little nigga couldn't afford Castle Grayskull. I was trying to be good with him. I felt bad. It's so hard for me right now to watch people struggle. It's hard for me. It's hard for me. If you walk up to me right now on the street and you say, hey, Van, read my script, I'm going to read that bitch. It's hard for me. But Coy almost fucked that up in me because he was fucking up Castle Grayskull, same fucking guy, same guy, and he broke my Power Wheel. I never got another one. I never got another Power Wheel. And Dad, by the way, Dad had no motherfucking shame about it. Dad would bring it up to other people that I never got another Hot Wheel. He would say to Uncle Craig, he was like, oh, Van let Coy buy, like, no prompt. We were talking about some completely different shit. Uncle Craig would be like, hey, man, you see that boy Mike Tyson knocking everybody out? My dad would be like, yeah, that's cool. Hey, Van let somebody come over here and bust up his Power Wheel. He's not getting another one.
This is the heart of the plucky shit.
This is the...
You let a plucky kid break your Power Wheel and you like, fuck it. I don't want to see it in media. I don't want to see it in my life.
I just don't like people doing random ass shit for no reason.
Right. And when they don't learn that lesson?
Hey, man, listen, if New Hope came out today and Luke hit that shot at the Death Star, you would say it's quarter flipping.
No, it wouldn't.
In 2026?
He was training in the Force. Nice. You guys fundamentally don't. You're about to piss me off. Fundamentally don't understand. He trained in the Force for a whole movie.
Luke.
He trained in the Force for a whole movie.
A whole movie that takes place over the course of what, like a couple of days, 2-3 days?
So he trained in the Force for the entire movie. We're not sure. And then on top of that, by the way, a ghost told him to do it.
Yeah. So, also, by the way, son of Darth Vader, son of Anakin Skywalker.
How long was A New Hope canonically?
We don't even know if Kenobi helped. I don't think it's a quarter flip.
I heard his voice, and
it's definitely a quarter flip.
By the way, Skywalker there's also in the movie, Skywalker also, when he had the blast helmet on, was able to use the Force and block the blast.
High midichlorians.
It's Skywalker.
It's about like 4 days.
That's fine.
4 days of training in the Force?
That's enough.
Actually, you know what? Not a quarter flip, because in the prequels, Anakin was a little man hopping in the shit.
Part of that is innate. Now, if you show me a nigga who is good at flipping quarters and doing shit like that innate, then that's cool.
Is Luke technically brawny?
Is that kind of six rings in the house?
Get it off.
We out the mud with Sharvey. On Thursday, Button Mash. Bronny gonna be a good pro. Watch. I'm all in on Bronny now.
Yeah?
I am.
Came all the way around.
Bronny's gonna be a good pro. Bronny's gonna be a good pro. And you know what else I learned? I want Bronny to be a good pro.
Of course.
Lying.
Let me tell you why.
You're rooting for him?
Let me tell you why.
Hmm.
Cut this for social. Cut this for social, as we been at this 2 hours and 30 minutes. I'm not against black nepotism. I'm a supporter.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Black nepotism is the only way.
It's good.
I don't like
Good.
I don't like the fact that it's some little nigga named Jalen somewhere that can't get into the league
Jalen's
because
in the
Bronny in the
NBA.
league. It's probably some guy named Jamani Hudson Jr. that's not gonna get his shit because Bronny in the league. I gotta help Jamani Hudson is what we gotta do. But see, black nepotism, I don't care.
But what about why it could be a Braden that's not getting into the league?
Who?
You know, like just some white dude, you know, who's supposed to be like got a burner from 3, but since it's Bronny, you know, he getting in over him.
Yeah, the good thing about him is that he could go work at Citibank. But the other nigga I'm talking about, there ain't no Citibank job waiting for him. I see white boys all the time. You play ball with them, and they like 6'5", and they got MIT on their shirt. It's like, yeah, I went there for a little while, hooped at fucking Dartmouth.com, and now I work at Skadden. You know what I'm saying? And like you hooping with them all the time.
Work at Citibank.
I don't see very many niggas that was like, yeah, I left Central Florida and now I work at Guggenheim. I don't see that. Like they went to Central Florida and now they playing in Mexico. You know what I'm saying? They trying to get back.
With black like take Jaden Smith. Fuck with it.
Fuck, I'm fine. Black nepotism, fine with it. Black. Now look,
John David Washington.
I'm with it. I think he's good, by the way. I also think he's good. But like I'm with it. So I like for some reason, although I do worry about intra-community inequality amongst black people, I do.
Mm-hmm.
But black nepotism, fine.
Okay.
On Thursday, Button Mash reaction Mortal Kombat 2. Next week, House of R. The Midnight Boys right to Punisher One Last Kill. Our producers there,
God
damn.
damn.
Y'all got me thinking about Koi. Jomi Adeniran on social, hashtag Jomi City Brain Pressure. I love that. Additional production from Arjuna, Ramgopowell. Chuck, take us out.
Daredevil needs to do a flip.
Yeah.
Wilson Fisk is crazy. And shout out to all our little black Nepo babies.